Hi guys, and welcome back! This time I bring you the implementation of the climbing animation, once again finishing the tile sets, and reworking the camera system I introduced in Devlog 2. After having finished the last devlog, I jumped right back into development to finally add one of the most crucial parts to the game, being the climbing animation. It's been 2 whole devlogs since I had made the climbing animation originally, and I think it's far overdue to finally add it into the game for good. So I went about that, importing the sprites, adding them into the animated sprite, adding them to the block of variables, and adding the functionality, and behold, we have the climbing animation. After that, I went on to try and tackle something which has been bugging me for at least as long as the climbing animation, the new tile set. So I went to work adding that into the game as well. I got the sprite into the game and set up a tile map layer, and I even added autotiling, which was a bit more confusing than I thought, so I wanted to make a tiny tutorial about it again. Firstly, you need to set up a tile map layer node with a tile map object and import the tile sets. Once done, drag the tile sets into the tileset editor and set them up with collisions and what tiles you can actually paint. After that, you can draw them, but there's no auto-tiling in place. For that, you need to add a terrain and some terrain sets. Each terrain set states the mode of how your tiles connect, while each terrain is just a different kind of tiles. The first terrain set mode enables you to paint 9 squares across your tiles, each square representing a possible connection point for other tiles. The second mode allows you to paint 4 triangles from the center, where you can also paint a square, each triangle being a possible connection point for your tiles again, and the square in the middle showing that it only connects to itself. The last way allows you to paint the 4 edges of a square and a middle square to show the possible connection points between the different tiles again. Big thanks to Devworm for explaining this all in detail. Because I have 4 directional tiles, up, down, left, and right, I made a sort of lock and key pattern using the first mode, where each tile's edge had a special pattern. It really isn't perfect, and I think I'm missing something, but it works and it saves me some time while I was designing the test level. Once I had it working semi-consistently, I made the test level and spent some time perfecting this dripping particle effect, which I'll probably use on some pipes in the future. I was quite happy with how the dripping effect and the tile sets turned out in the end, so I started tackling the hardest thing in this devlog, the new camera system. There is this really cool game called Pizza Possum with a beautiful handle on split-screen multiplayer, where the camera is adaptive and switches between 2 separate cameras and 1 camera showing both players depending on how close you are to each other. I wanted to add this into my game also, so I started by figuring out how to render 2 separate cameras on screen. I already managed to make a camera system which supports split-screen multiplayer, like a lot of other games though, where you have a fixed cutoff in the middle of the 2 cameras. But I didn't manage to create the function which offsets the camera in the direction of the other player the nearer you got, or the slow dissolving of the split down the middle, where it will then turn into one smooth view. But I have all these features pinned and planned to be done for next devlog. Unlike fixing all the bugs, which are still in the game and slowly but surely creating very weird behaviors. Let's see if I also deal with them next week. I hope you enjoyed watching and see you next time. And if you want to see how it all started, here is the first video in my journey to completing this game.